Good evening, Be Crafty peoples. How are you? If you haven't been here before, my name's Bev, and here at Be Crafty, every Tuesday we do Try Out Tuesday, where we make something, try something new. Anything could happen, really, but basically we're using Be Crafty products to make something crafty and gorgeous. So today we're going to be using the Be Crafty Art Stamps Be Monarchy, and we're also going to be using the gorgeous new Dina Wakley Gloss Drops. So we will be waiting for a few people to join in, and then we will be cracking on, because I'm very excited and I want to crack on, basically. So there we go.
Oh, don't try and make...
Oh, there we go. On the phony, so I can see your comments. Hello Alison, hello Shaz, hello Lynn, hello Maxine. How is everyone? Are we all good? Hello Pauline. Okay, so like I said, just said, but you might have missed it. Tonight we're going to be art journaling, and we're going to be using the Be Crafty Art Stamps Be Monarchy, and we're going to be using the Dina Wakley Gloss Drops. I'm going to be working on my ledger journal. If you remember, we did a couple of weeks ago, and you could still see when we were doing techniques the gorgeous ledger pattern through. So I wanted to see if you could still see the dots, or I'm not even sure. I might use the squares or this one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to use the dots. I'm going to try and do my journal relatively in order. So I'm going to work on this one. So basically in this journal you have sort of like a really fine ledger, a dot grid, a wider ledger, and then a boxes page. Okay, so you have got different, if you say, can you see that? Yeah, you can. So different ones to work on. This is a Dilutions journal, so you've got that fantastic media stock in there, which is great for all sorts of mediums, which we absolutely love. So there you go. I'm also going to be using my circles big one. I need a palette, which I didn't pick up, so we'll probably be using a Super Skinny Slim. And I'm going to be using also some stamping tissue that was left over, possibly from this one here, from where I stamped on one of the faces, and I've cut a section out, and basically I've stamped up the rest using all three sizes of honeycomb from the Be Monarchy. Okay, because I think it's fabulous, and I'm really chuffed with it. It's made an absolutely beautiful stamped tissue collage paper, so I'm really happy with that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to crack on, and we're going to lay that down first for a couple of reasons. The principal one being, okay, for when we put the gloss drops on after. Would you want me to do a little? Do you want me to do a quick gloss drops review now? Now, if you are looking for these online, you'll see on them they say Dina Wakley Media Gloss. They don't say gloss drops. The reason I'm calling them gloss drops is because instead of coming with a spray top, they're coming with a dropper top. So I'm calling them the gloss drops so that you know that they're a different thing to the spray. Okay, they're in 6 new colours, so they're not repeated colours. They're all very cowabunga dude. Okay, so we've got stoked, radical, gnarly, legit. Honestly, I feel so stupid saying these words. It's like when I once tried to use the word chillax, it didn't work. Okay, bodacious and tubular. I mean, see what I mean? Cowabunga dude. Right. Now I'm actually, when I saw these, I was very much, these are for me. Okay? These are for me. And I'll tell you why. I absolutely love the gloss sprays. Love them. I love them as a medium. I think they're great to use. I like the results. I think you can use them on MDF. Brilliant. But I'm rubbish at keeping the sprayer clean. And unlike with your dilutions and your your Tim Holtz distress sprays and whatever that are all water based, so you can eventually get the sprayers working if you put in a bit of effort. If you ruin your gloss spray heads, yeah, you're done. You know what I mean? Whereas the dropper, it's like Sam does a lot of freehand tube work. So these are really going to suit her as well. So I'm very excited about the droppers. We will be having at some point, but they keep being out of stock every time I order them, packs of the droppers, which I'm going to have loads of, personally, as in I'm going to be responsible for taking up half of the Be Crafty stock, because I'm going to be putting these droppers on all of my gloss sprays that I already have, okay? Because these are new colours, so it's not going to repeat colours. Okay. Right up your alley, Samantha. Right. So I've also got me a new collage medium, but you know what? We'll finish off the tube we've got first. So, first thing I'm going to do... Well, Sam, you can't say you're going to take up half the Be stock, because if you're going to take up half the Be Crafty stock of the new droppers, and I'm going to take up half the stock of the Be Crafty droppers, you do realise that leaves none for anyone else. So what you're saying is double the quantity on the order that we're not getting anyway. Right, anyway, they will be here at some point. So this is the Be Crafty stamping tissue. Like I say, this is just an offcut piece that I have stamped the 3 different sizes of honeycomb from the Bee Monarchy on. Okay, so I've just stamped on that using my VersaFine Claire. Now obviously that does go through, which means you can use either side if you want. I think, no, actually that was the back. That's the, hang on, is it? Bear with me just a second. I can't tell. I can't tell which way is right. I honestly can't tell. Hang on. Not that it actually matters. There we go. So that is technically the front, but that's the back. There is very much not difference, is there? So if you are stamping onto your stamping tissue with your VersaFine Claire, make sure you've got something underneath, like your blending mat or something that you can wipe off. Okay? Right. Let us continue, as it were. Right, so I'm going to get some collage medium. Like I say, we'll finish off the other one first. Actually, I'm very sorry, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Can you just bear with 2 secs? I was very good earlier and took out my cup of water. I did not replace it. Bear with. I'm back. My crafty cupboard is right next to the kitchen, so it's not exactly a long haul. Alrighty. I even did my brushes and everything. Look, crazy goings on. All right. So we're going to take my collage medium. Yeah. So if we go on, because I'm not going to gesso or anything, where I'm going to be using my gloss drops. Now, if you are familiar with gloss sprays, if you've had the gloss sprays before, you'll know if you use them on too porous a surface, you will lose some of the gloss, okay? They won't be quite as glossy. Now, that's not going to happen, I would say pretty much guaranteed not going to happen on a Dylusions page anyway, because it's quite smooth, okay? But, for example, if you're in a Dina Wakley journal with the more textured surfaces, it might. Okay, so if you do definitely want that gloss finish, they will still work. It's just a question as to whether you want the gloss finish. If you definitely are sure you want the glossy shininess, you are going to want to gesso that first or prime it. So I'm going on with my matte medium, because then I know they're going to slide and stay glossy. Okay, so I have matte mediumed all over that surface. Alright, and while we leave that to dry, I'm going to show you something I did this afternoon, playing with the gloss drops, because obviously they just arrived, so I had to abandon everything else. Right, So these are, right, I'm going to put the colours in front of me so I can say these words. They do make me chuckle, I can't lie. So we've got the gnarly and legit on there. We've got the legit and stoked on there, which is the pink. Okay. We've got the tubular and radical. We've got the bodacious and gnarly. The stoked and tubular. Okay. And then the radical and the bodacious. Okay. Like all your mediums, okay, be careful with your bodacious, which is the purple. That is your danger colour. When it mixes with the others, that's when you could get brown. The others you're reasonably safe with. If you mix any of the others, you're reasonably safe. But the purple and maybe of the bodacious and the pink of the stoked, that's where you're risking. If you're using either of them, remove the green from the equation unless you're keeping them separate. Okay. Also, like your gloss sprays, alright, you're not supposed to heat them dry. You know, you're not supposed to force dry them. However, I'm in a reasonably well ventilated space and I'm not forcing them to dry. I'm going to encourage them, as I always do. But this is a do as I say, not as I do thing, okay? If you can leave them to dry, do that. Don't force them dry. Okay. What I also did, is I created these. Now, if you look at the difference in the colours, okay, in the tones, this is very pastel, okay, this is very vibrant and neon, okay. So with these ones, it does seem like a teenage. Hey, they would. You know, they talk of. Sorry, just I'm going to do a brief segue. So I'm really sorry if this doesn't interest you, which it probably doesn't because it's not at all craft related. And it's because Caroline Watty said, it sounds like a Ninja Turtle, pick the names. See, this is where me and my husband had a disagreement the other day, because when I was a kid, I can specifically remember it being called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Hero Turtles, not Ninja. And he said I was wrong, and it was always been Ninja. And I was like, this is one of those Mandela whatever effect things. So I went back and looked, and when it was originally released in the UK, it was Hero Turtles, not Ninja. Apparently. So there you are. So I was glad I wasn't actually insane. Well, not because of that, anyway. Anyway, back to the gloss sprays. So what I did to create this wonderful effect is very simple. And it's so simple, I'm actually going to recreate it for you right now. Okay. Just while we're waiting for my journal to dry, because I did sort of go over the top. Alright. So I got a blending mat, a smaller one than this. But it was just like this one. And then I got a mister. Not a Mr. Tonks, as in a water mister. And I spritzed onto the mat with my water mister. Okay. And then, again, just like with your gloss sprays, these need to be vigorously shook before each use. So I'm just going to give them both a shake, them all a shake, and then I'll shake them again before I use them. Okay, so we're going to do yellow first. And we're going to go drop, 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 drop. And then screw those lids back on tight. There you go, make sure your widget's moving. Lid back on tight. They did. They did change it back eventually, though. I'm actually using a lot more than I used to. So it probably won't be as pastel-y now, but never mind. Here is in a half shell. Turtle power. Okay. And then they're going to mush into each other a bit, and that's okay. I am, where I can, I'm trying to keep that beautiful tubular green away from the bodacious purple. And then I'm going to get my mister again. think I've used all the water in it. But it's okay. It turns out I'm more prepared than I thought. And we're going to mist again. Quite a bit. And then we're going to get our piece of card. And look, and you get beautiful pastel-y tones. Isn't that rather cool? I absolutely love it. I'm going to get another one. Okay, so they've all muddled a bit more together on that one. So you could just sort of, for example, miss that. I've got no idea what cardstock this is, so there's no point asking. And then just go straight on the cardstock and make it a bit more vivid. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to stick with the warm colours. Well, I say the warm colours, but I'm going to add that purple in there. Okay, I'm going to go on with the mister again. Because, okay, here's the thing with your gloss, okay? You can paint with it. It is perfectly movable when wet. You can create different sort of effects with it. And all this. But once it dries, it is acrylic, okay? You can't move it. You can't adjust it. You can't reactivate it. It is basically acrylic. You can't do anything else with it. So on the flip side, that does mean you can put stuff on top of it and it's not going to move. But you can get some absolutely beautiful effects with it. Okay? And basically, like I say, what I like is these dropper applicators. They are just an absolute dream come true. For me. You know, other people might have other dream aspirations, but when it comes to gloss, that's the ones for me. So like I say, they do just say gloss on the bottle, but I've called them gloss drops on the website because to differentiate them from the sprays. Because what's in the bottle is the same thing in terms of what it does. It's just the applicator that's different. So the sprays have a sprayer, the drops have a dropper. For me, that's it. Seems quite obvious. Right. So let's get my journal page back in. Because I really did go to town with... I think you sometimes do that, don't you? Once you've got a new collage medium, when you're emptying off the last one, you start, like... getting a bit application happy. Let's face it. It's just the way we are. So I'm just going to... like I say, encourage this matte medium dry. So like I say, you can obviously apply your stamping tissue in a full sheet if you want, or in lines or in sections or anything else like that. But basically, I just wanted to do it in strips because I was using like a bit that had already been used as well. So these are new colours, yeah. There is no other way to buy these colours apart from in these drop things. And obviously you can buy sprayers. So if you like these colours, but you prefer the sprayers, you can use a sprayer. I might get some sprayers just so I can show you. But I think... it's definitely going to be droppers for me. Droppers for me. Right. I'm looking for... oh well. Right. Now I'm about to make a mess. So might as well get the one that I've already put some of this on. I would advise you to clean it off anything as quickly as soon as you're able to. And as always, this is acrylic, so cool water, not warm water, because once it's set, that's it. These aren't Tim Holtz, Pauline, these are Dina Wakley. So there won't be any ink pads to match these. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my mister. Could sprays be used in these? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you had spare spray heads, put them in. Okay, so I'm going to add some water. And this is so that I can... Yeah, so I'm going to put these in the order I want to use them. I'm going to Mo Geronimo. Right. So we're going to go pink of Stoked first. Then the Radical Orange. Then to the Gnarly Yellow. I mean, I think you'll see a lot of people come in doing drip techniques with it because it just seems so necessary with the dropper. Now, the Tubular Green. Okay. Legit blue. And then on to the Bodacious Purple. I might go back. So I'm just going to go back along and make sure all my lids are on. I'm just going to go back though and get a little bit more of the Stoked Pink, I think. Which has also made me want to add a little bit more of this beautiful Radical Orange. I never thought the other day where I'd say, yeah, that orange is just... absolutely stunning. Right, so again, I'm just going to double check those lids. Beautiful. Okay, and I'm just gonna slide up the edge there. Okay. Now you can, of course, and should leave this to dry. You can dab up any areas where, you know, maybe it's puddling a bit too much and you don't really want it that puddly or whatever. But I am also going to try and keep a little bit of white space on this. I was actually planning to add quite a lot of these circles. But in all honesty, I'm kind of feeling like I shouldn't because I absolutely adore how this looks right now. I do worry that maybe the collage medium has given me a little bit too much movement, but you know. Here we are. Right, I am going to heat it. I feel like it's more control Sarah Lou, absolutely. So again, if you like messy crafting, but you don't like sprays because of the cast, which I totally understand, by the way. I'm going to heat from higher up. This is another way of you doing that, I think. And you can use them, like I say, on your mat to create these sort of backgrounds without getting yourself, you know, covered in it. Well, I still did, but, you know, I'm not a yardstick for that sort of thing. And like I say, these will dry with a beautiful glossy finish. You know, so if you look at here, I can't remember what we were using here now. It's gone out of my head. I think it was Dilution Spray. You know, where it resisted. Yeah, see, I can't test the resist on this because I'm at medium the whole thing, didn't I? Where it resisted here. But you've got that beautiful matte finish. This is going to be a gloss finish. And that's what makes it different to your other sprays. It's an acrylic spray. It's not an ink spray. It's an acrylic spray. But this isn't a spray because they've put a dropper in, so it's even better. Got to stop saying spray. Right, so I am just going to start it off, I think, and then we'll put it to the side. What I might do is show you a couple more techniques with the droppers on something else. Because I really don't want to lift any of this off. I want it all to stay. Right. Tell you what, we've started that off. So I'm going to put it to the side and hope it just dries a bit more. Because I really want to finish this page because I absolutely love it. But I don't want you to sit here for the next 20 minutes watching me dry something that I've told you shouldn't do anyway. Right, so from here, moving swiftly onwards. So when I was doing these earlier, I used this tag just to mop up the bits that dripped off. So there you go, there's another tag started as well. But the thing with these droppers is you can paint with them, you can colour in with them, things like that. So for example, if let me get, what have I got in here? Oh, here we go. Got a doodle like Dandy Daisy. Okay. So, you can use these, you can put them in a palette, you can put them on your blending mat, something like that. I've lost my little paintbrush. That could make me very sad. So, right, yeah, we're not going to judge the quality of my painting because I've lost my little paintbrush. We're just going to see what you can do. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put just a little drop there because we can easily add more, can't we? And then a little drop here. Then, like I say, these are totally movable with water, as you've just seen. Alright? So you can just use them as the awesome neon paints that they are. Use them to paint your doodle arts, your sketches. You know, just super easy. Bit more. Bit more of the gnarly yellow, I think. To pull there. And then you could use your tubular green. Yeah, I got it right. Tubular green. To go down. Now, the more water you add is obviously going to affect the glossiness. But bear in mind, you don't have to add any water at all. Okay? If you want to just, for want of a better description, go in neat, you can. And depending on your cardstock will depend on the gloss, okay? So like I said, if you're using a particularly porous cardstock, okay, you will find that you're going to lose some of that gloss, because it's sort of it's almost like that part of it gets taken in to the card. So if you want it to be glossy and you've got a more porous card, go over it once, let it dry, and then go over it again, and you'll get that beautiful gloss finish, which means you don't have to glaze anything. Okay, so we'll get some of that going. In there, and then we'll just add the rest as flicky bits. Now add them to your cards so nothing gets wasted, so you can still sort of get some sort of messy craft in, but again, you're not getting messy if you don't want to. Alright, now the other thing that is very important to remember is these are mediums that you can still use with your templates, even if they don't have the spray on. Sorry, I've got a really tickly nose just come on. So using your, sorry for reaching across, using your blending tools and blending foams, you can blend with them through your templates, which, like I said, I'm hoping to do on my journal page, but I'm starting to get concerned I've just added far too much water. So if I'll use a big one for this, just because, so you can see. Okay, let's take this one, but we'll add a different colour. I won't use that Bakewell because I have a mucky Bakewell, and if I don't clean it, Billy will get annoyed. So I might as well just use the one that's already a bit dirty. Right, so we'll take the legit blue, okay, and we're going to add a bit of that to our blending mat. I think what I'm so excited about these, my gloss sprays have been sort of like banished to a shelf because, like I say, I wasn't particularly good at looking after them, and I know it's going to involve a lot of, well, I'm going to need more than that, and I know it's going to require a lot of cleaning of that one didn't work as well as I wanted. I'm going to go for a brighter colour. Go for a brighter colour. Add a bit more. Well, it turns out I can't stencil today, but you get my point. Okay, so you can apply with your blending tool as well to give a more matte finish is what I was going for in through your templates. I am still going to be doing it with the circle one, so you might as well just get better, Beverly. Right, I'm just going to keep going. Alright, so our bodacious purple. I'm wondering if it's because these are cleaned foamies, so it's too absorbent. Potentially. Okay, but the whole point is these are something to practice with, to play with. And I also, what I do like about them is, like I say, you can then go back in, you can add more, you can mix them, you can combine them. But these beautiful bright neons, I think the other thing is, well, we get to this time of year and we're very into, you know, making things a bit dark and autumnal, which is fine. I love the autumnal colours. It's actually one of my favourite colour palettes. But it's so nice to have something bright come in at this time of year. And as well, what I wanted to show you with my unsuccessful templating was what's beneath it doesn't move. Okay, and that's the important thing to remember. But as well, if you just look at the drops on top of there, where I did those, they're really glossy because this is a slightly porous card. So where I've done the drips, they're sort of hit and miss where they're glossy, but where it's sitting on top, very glossy. And that's what we like. Right, let's get this journal page back in here and see how we're doing. Okay. Not everything's dry yet, but I want to show you this one. This one is dry. Okay, but it's still got a gloss if I can get it to do a bit of a telly twinkle. Don't know if I can, but it is still glossy. Okay. Whoop. Dancing Daisy over there. On here. So I think I'm going to add a few of those little circles onto here. I was so desperate to add them. Okay. But I think, yeah, I mean, if we tilt it now, nothing's running. Or maybe that blue one is a little bit. So let's tap that down. And we'll give it another waft with the heat tool. Yeah, it was nearly all the way, it just needs finishing off. Yes, I do. And then we are going to go to our bees. So if you haven't seen the bee Monarchy set before, perhaps you've been, okay? It has 3 bees, 3 honeycombs, 2 crowns, and the word bee, okay? It's lots of fun, it's funky, and I absolutely love it. And we're going to use our collage medium again to lay this on. I'm going to put this one here, and then we're going to grab this one here. Now these have got clear embossing powder over the top because I wanted to get to cutting them out in my prep time, and VersaFine clay can occasionally take forever to dry, even if you dry it with a heat tool. So the best way to make sure you don't smudge it is to use clear embossing powder, which I did. Okay. And then I'm going to use this one, which is Sam's favourite of the 3, which is this chap here. Because he's just a little fat bee, and she loves him. So we're going to put him there. I'm also going to use some of these white pieces of honeycomb that I've cut out, and I'm going to put them in a few sort of places away from where we've put the stamping tissue. Or I might even put this one sort of, you know, if I can work out the rotation again, which I can't because I've put it on back to front. Over there. But sort of like the white over the top. He is a fat butt bumblebug. Okay. And then I think what I want to do now, I'm going off plan. I would like to use if I can craft a lunch. I can find them. Remember the other week when I couldn't find my transparencies? Well, I then did find them. I'm just hoping I can still find them. Aha, here we go. So I'm going to go to the transparencies and I'm going to go to the B words. I was going to do the black on clear, but I think the clear on, oh whatever. I'm going to go for these ones. And I'll get my big scissors. I'm going to go for Humblebee, I think. But I think what I'm going to have to do, just to make sure that stands out as well as I want, I'll just put the lid on that a second. And I'm going to need to get my white Posca. You can also do this with your white acrylic paint or with your gesso. I'm just doing it quick because it's really the B bit I want covered, and it just stands out a bit better now. Now you can read it. Or is that a bit too bold? See, now I'm looking at it, I'm not sure. Tell you what, I'm actually going to try and cut it out a bit closer to it. Let's see what I think. I'll see, yeah, I think that's much better. I actually might move it after all of that. I might move it to this side. Okay, let's go with some collage matte medium on there. Okay, and this has also created one of my favourite things in my journals, which is 2 pages, which are not both alike in dignity, but which are completely opposing. Okay, so this one is full of ink, this one only has the drips. You know, this, do you see what I mean? They're not the same. They're not using the same colours. They're not even trying to be matching. And when they're not trying to be matching, I like them to be very different. Basically. So I think Sam has done links to all the journals and the stamps and the collage medium and the media gloss and all this sort of thing. So go and have a look. If there's anything else you'd like to know, please let me know and I will try and come up with the answers. Okay. But apart from that, just a quick one, the ATC swap partners are up. So if you did put yourself down for the October ATC swap in the group, please go and find your partner. The new challenge is up. Cool colours. You can make something with cool colours. Is it cool colours? Because cool colours could be these colours. Because let's face it, it says gnarly stoked and, you know, bodacious. That's cool, isn't it? Just saying. my cool new Dina Wakley Gloss Drops. So go and get yourself involved in that as well. You could win a voucher. And yes, Sally is here tomorrow night at 8 PM, so you don't want to miss that either. Set your alarm clocks. And I am in the Crafting Together with All Brands group at 2 o'clock on Thursday. So once again, another very full week. So if you need any help, let us know. Well, it doesn't say, to be honest, Sam. It could be cool as in cold or cool as in cool, dude. I think she means cool as in cold. But Sally has put a sample up for you, which is absolutely beautiful. So go and have a look at that and use it for the inspiration too. All right then, guys. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye-bye.